Hello, welcome to Catherine's Granny Squares, and we're on the second video of making a virus shawl with cotton yarn. We're using Patons 100% cotton and we're using a 4-ply. I haven't made a virus shawl in a 4-ply before, so this is my first ever attempt. They say to use a 3.25mm crochet hook. I'm not doing that. I'm going up to a 4mm because I think that's going to be small enough for me. So we finished the first video having completed the initial circle with doing trebles into it, another row of trebles and chain row, and now we're halfway on row 4, so we're going to complete this row and move on. Now virus shawls are all about mirror images, so we're going to do exactly the same on the other side of row 4 as what we've just done. You'll see here, easier to see on this one, the mirror image. It's just exactly the same, a repeat. So we'll just pop this one to the side and we'll start off repeating the mirror image. So as I say, this is very, very fine yarn, and I'm doing this video the first time I've done it with cotton yarn, so let's see how we progress. So we'll do 7 chains because we're doing another big loop. We're going to miss the space that's next to it and we're joining with a double crochet into the next space. I'm working in UK terms, so that'd be a single crochet if you're in the US. We're going to do that again, so another 4 chains, and we're going to miss a space again and we're going to join into the next space with a double crochet, and one more time. Miss a space, join into next space. So you've got your 2 big loops, 1, 2, you need to make it even, so we're going to go again because we've got 3 loops, little loops on the other side, 4 chains, miss a space and join with a double crochet into the next space. Then we're going to make a big loop, so a big loop is 7, chains, and then we're going to join into the third of that chain row of 4, into the 3rd chain. So because this is cotton yarn, it's quite fiddly, but find the 3rd chain and join with a treble. Oh, did I not put my yarn around? There we go. Can't do a treble without putting the yarn around. So a treble, and again say I'm using UK terms, so that will be a double crochet if you're in the US. It's my stomach making noises. Sorry about that. Don't know why, it's been fed. So that is the mirror image done. Your 2 big loops, 1, 2, 3 little loops, big loop and mirror image, big loop and your 1, 2, 3. So that is the end of row 4. So moving on to row 5, do your 3 chains, turn the work, and now we're going to work into this big loop, and into this big loop we're going to put 9 trebles. Now remember, in this pattern we're counting the chains as a stitch, so that will count as your first treble. So we're going to do 9 into the loop, so go straight in the loop, four, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Excuse me. So just stop and count there. So we had the 3 chain, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, so obviously 10 altogether. And then we're going to secure that into this little loop with a double crochet, and then we're going to do 4 chains, and we're going to secure that 4 chain into the little loop with a double crochet. So we've done that twice. So we've filled up the big loop, and we have made 4 secured into the little loop, made 4 chains and secured it into the little loop there. Sorry, have I said that right? Done the trebles into the big loop, secured with a double crochet into the little loop. We've done 4 chains and secured into the little loop with a double crochet. So we're going to, we've got to do that again, another 4 chains and secure into the little loop with a double crochet. Just want to make sure I said that correctly. So that's how it's looking. So if you see there, we had 3 little loops, and now we've got 2 little loops. So that brings us to the top of the shawl, and in that big loop we need to do 10 trebles. So in the top we do 10 trebles, and then we're soon going to be repeating the mirror image again. So that's what the virus shawl is all about, repeating on the other side. And you get to a stage where you're not looking at the pattern and you're looking at the other side. It doesn't matter how many virus shawls I do, I still have my pattern right here by my side to start off with, at least, you know, to make sure I'm doing it correctly at the beginning. And now I'm talking and I don't know how many I've done, so I'm going to have to count in a minute. I think I'm up to 9, but say I'll have a count. So you need 10 in here into the big loop. Let's just see what we've got. Now when you're counting, This is where you've got to be careful, because you don't want to accidentally count the side of that little loop, which is so easy to do. Now just make sure you don't count that, so just push that to the side. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, there's a surprise. Talking and I've still got 10. Amazing, isn't it? The other side, exactly the same. Do 10 trebles into a big loop. So this is row 5 we're on now. It's going to be more than one video, as I said, with this series, because I'm taking it nice and slow. I'm just keeping going with it. So we finished off round 4, the mirror image, and now we're doing round 5. We'll see how we go as to how far we get. So we're aiming for 10. What have we got? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. That's usually with me. One more. That's normally one more. Right, there we go. So we've done the 10 trebles into the big space, and now we're going to secure into the little loop with a double crochet, and we're going to go up 4 chains to make another little loop, and we're going to secure with a double crochet into the little loop there. That didn't secure very well. Let me just do that fella again. Need that to be secure. There we go. So we've made another little loop, and we need to make another one. So we do another 4 chains. Little loops are 4 chains. Secure into the next little loop. Double crochet. So we've done that, and then we're back to the big loop, so we need to fill that up again. Just checking the pattern there. So this bit here, let's just do a few trebles and I shall explain it. So keep doing your trebles into the big loop. You're going to secure this one, so this is row 5. You're going to secure this on the top of the 3rd chain of this 10 chains. So what I tend to say to myself on this one, I'll do 9 trebles into this big loop, and I'll show you why in a minute. Makes more sense if you say that. That's what I'd say to myself. So let me just see. So there's my little loop, there's my little loop. Remember not to count the side. Didn't do that very neatly because I had a little glance over my pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to do, so one more. I'm going to do 9 trebles into the loop. 9 trebles into the loop, and then you have to join. It's a bit of fiddle against at the ends, joining. I need to do the last treble on top of the 3rd chain of this loop here. So, and remember I am using cotton, so it is easier if you're not using cotton and you used a thicker yarn. but as I say, I just wanted to try it with cotton. Why, I asked myself, am I doing this to myself on camera? I don't know. Let me see, have I gone through? Time will tell. So do the last treble on top of that third chain up of your 10 chains. So that is the end of row 5, and that's how it's looking. So row 6, should we see if we can do row 6? Row 6, chain 3 and turn. So we're going to do a treble into each of these stitches. So treble on top of treble. We've already worked into that one, and we'll go into the next one along. So we'll do a treble. It's getting very dark here, very dull and dark today. Don't think I've seen the sun once today. Right, so we're doing a treble on top of a treble along here. Treble on top of treble. Oops, Daisy, that's it. That's it, and we're going to be securing into that 4 chain space. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, secure for double crochet into your little loop, and let's put that there for a moment because I need to just turn the page. Doesn't matter how many times I do this, I do need to consult my pattern. I do need to check it at the beginning, and then once you get into it, it's fine. It's just getting into the swing of doing this virus shawl. Once you get into it, you just seem to copy the mirror image all the time. Well, that's what I do anyway. So you've made 3 little loops, you've made 2, and now you need to make 1. So to make little loops, you do 4 chains, remember, and you secure into the next little loop with a double crochet. And then we're at the top, and at the top we're going to do a treble on top of a treble. Now you've got to be careful again with this section here. You'll see when you do it, you don't want to be going into the sides of your little loop. So we're going to go into the, up here you'll see, and if you're not sure, count back 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So make sure you start going into the first proper treble, and then you're just going to do treble on top of treble like you did at the beginning. And although this is a nice airy shawl, you do get these sections of more closed work. I wasn't sure how it was going to be with the cotton yarn, and I did the first videos for Healthy Generations charity when I didn't have a channel. They were produced for Healthy Generations charity during our lockdown here in the UK, and it was doing them that spurred me on to starting my own YouTube channel. So they're my first videos ever. I think I just revamped, I can't remember, 1 or 2 of them, but they're the original when I started. But I hadn't even thought about using cotton yarn for virus shawls, but I've got into virus shawls big time since. That's a bit elongated. You can make that a lot better when you do it. It's harder when you're on camera to do it exactly as you want it. And then I'm just going to carry on, and I'm going to do my mirror image. So I'm going straight across, and I'm carrying on doing the trebles on top of the trebles, right across the top here. So we're on row 6. My camera doesn't allow me much filming time at all, so I should just do what I can, and then I will be doing another video. Just take it nice and slow with these virus shawls. There's no, you want to get it right, and I don't want to be rushing these videos and saying, missing out anything. I want to get it right so that you can get it right. So go down here, filling up on top of the 10 again. So altogether you should have 20 on there. Okay, good. And then you secure into the little loop with a double crochet like you do on the other side, and then you're going to make another little loop, so that's 4 chains for little loops, and secure in the little loop next to it, and then you're back to doing your trebles on top of trebles, making sure you go into the first proper treble. And again, if you're not sure, count back: 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So make sure you go into the first proper treble and do a treble on top of a treble, and that will be the end of another row. And then we'll go on to row 7 in the next video. Can't see the camera allowing me to go on to row 7. So I just use a basic camera for these videos. So this is row 6, so I'm just going to get to the end here, put treble on top of treble, let me just double check my notes how we end. Row 6, last treble goes on top of the previous 3 chains, so that's not too bad, is it? Let's just count to make sure there. Making sure when you do your check count, you don't count the side of your little loop. So that's good, that's 9, and the 10th treble will be going on top of the 3 chain again, because I'm doing it in cotton and on camera. Just bear with me a moment, make sure I get it right. Okay, so that is the end of row 6. And that is how it's looking. What do you think? So I will do that's row 6. I should do row 7 and 8 hopefully in the next video for you. Just going to pop that there. So that's where we're at. Of course this is cotton, so we're up to here. So we're going to do rows 7 and 8 on the next video. So I hope that's all right for you so far. And if you're having a go, if you're trying the cotton, I hope you're getting on all right. If you haven't subscribed, you'd be very welcome if you do subscribe to the channel. And I will see you on the possibly last video to show you how to do row 7 and 8, because the pattern is actually repeating rows 5 to 8 to make your shawl the length you want. So we've done just ended now in row 6, so we will do rows 7 and 8 in the next video. Catch you then. Bye for now.